Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to be with you each and every week during the NFL regular season, the playoffs, the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, anything else we can think of for discussing NFL football this season. Been kind of a fun season so far. We're entering into Week 16. Not fun for my Jets, but it's fun for a lot of people watching everything. I have to admit, we're seeing the playoff picture coming into focus. Mm-hmm. We're also seeing more injuries.
Yeah, unfortunately, two devastating injuries: Patrick Mahomes and why am I losing?
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. Why did I blank out on that one? So, it's scary. I mean, those are two premier players in the league. I don't know how this affects their next season because ACL tears or at the time of our recording, we know. One person has an ACL.
Mahomes has a torn ACL.
Micah Parsons, we think that's the case sitting here recording this, but I'm sure we'll know, in the coming weeks when this is days when this comes out.
Yeah, he's going to be doing MRIs or something.
Yeah. It looked terrible. I was watching that play, and when you see players like that go down, or any player really go down in that much pain, it just you hate to watch it. You really hate to watch it.
Yeah, and I remember watching some of the replays of the Micah Parsons injury.
Yeah.
They showed him with the trainer saying, "I'm done," so he knew something bad happened.
Yeah, I mean, and it was non-contact. I mean, you just saw something happen with his knee. He was approaching the quarterback and he grabbed his knee and I guess he planted on it or something like that.
That's usually how it happens too.
And no, it was awful. I was watching it as it happened. It was awful.
The levels of attrition are just incredible for the NFL. But we saw that Mahomes season's over, Chiefs season's over. They're not even going to the playoffs.
Yeah, and look, they have a quarterback question because more likely than not, he's not going to be ready for the start of next season.
No.
I mean, you hope he is.
You don't know what Mahomes. You don't know what.
Yeah, something about NFL athletes that they're built differently than the rest of us. I mean, they heal quicker. First off, they have the best doctors and the best therapy in the world. So, it kind of looks like he might not start next season, but you never know. You just really never know.
And for the first time since 2014, no Chiefs in the playoffs. Yeah. 2014, so that's a long time to see that streak end.
Unbelievable.
But speaking of the past week here, let's see what happened last week in Week 15.
Hey, what happened?
Well, we got some good, we got some bad from Week 15 for some of these teams. We've got Atlanta. They played on the Thursday night game. They had 19 accepted penalties, a Falcons record, and most in an NFL game this season.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Bengals, first-time shutout since 2017, Week 1.
Wow. Okay.
That was not a good showing by that team, especially since I bet on them.
Yeah.
I was kind of curious to see how they would do.
Bengals have kind of a quarterback question. Yeah,
they have a durability.
Burrow made some comments that a lot of people are interpreting that maybe he's not so enthusiastic about playing in the NFL.
He clarified him.
I'm sure, but it's
no one believes him.
Those lingering questions.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out what's going on.
Yep. So. Jets-Jaguars game. Jacksonville has scored at least 25 points in a team record 7 consecutive game.
Wow. Okay.
Jets still don't have an interception through Week 15 or 14 games for their schedule. They're 3-11.
And another thing about the Jets, I went with a Jets game for 3 weeks in a row. I did 3 overs, and I hit on 3 overs. How about that?
Yep.
Thank you, Jets.
48 points, most points allowed by the Jets since 2021.
By the way, that was more than the over.
Yes, I know.
If the Jets didn't score, I would have still gotten the over.
Let me tell you something. This is the point where you're going to see Aaron Glenn really be a head coach because I don't think he can bring Steve Wilkes back as defensive coordinator. That was the worst defensive effort I've seen by a Jets team in quite a long time. I mean, just that one game. I mean, if you take a look at the streak they're on right now, they're just allowing people to go right through them.
Yeah.
There's no adjustments. There's no figuring out anything. And Yeah, I heard one of the commentators and the broadcasters in the game say Steve Wilks has a very complex system. I think you may have to go away from that and go dumb down it a little bit.
Well,
or Aaron Glenn has to step in.
They also traded 2 marquee defensive players a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you're still feeling that, too.
So you're still feeling that as well.
Yeah. Bills-Patriots, we had Buffalo defeating New England after being down 21 points. Previously, the Bills were 2-60 all-time when trailing by 21 or more points.
That's they dug down deep and got it done. Boy, incredible.
Going on the other side, the Patriots had a 124-1 record when leading by 21 or more points at any point in a home game.
Wow.
In their history, they had won 104 straight games.
That's what makes it a little more impressive. They were in Foxborough.
Yeah.
And the Bills did that.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
Patriots running back Trayvon Henderson.
Travion.
He had 2 50-plus yard touchdown runs. That is the third and fourth rushing touchdowns of 50 or more yards for the Patriots as a team. This season, they had 2 of those types of touchdowns the previous 15 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So kind of an interesting stat to see there. So you have going over to the Philadelphia-Las Vegas game. Las Vegas has lost by double digits for the 8th time, and it's the 8-game losing streak is the longest of Pete Carroll's NFL coaching career. There's another question mark there.
Look, speaking as an Eagles fan, Vegas wasn't even in that game. From start to finish, it was just all Eagles.
Yep.
So
last time the Raiders were shut out in multiple games in a season was in 2006. They had 3 times. They have 2 now. They still got more games to go, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Cardinals lost their 6th straight game, last 11 of 12. Coach Ben Johnson over at Chicago. By the way, he is doing an incredible job. 3rd head coach in Bears history to win 10 or more games in their first season. He joins Matt Nagy in 2018. And George Halas in 1920. The only coaches that did that in their first season.
That's another one of my games. I went with Chicago this week, so they helped me out a lot in my my record in this this little experiment we're having. But Chicago is doing really great. I love the way Chicago's been playing.
And the Green Bay Denver game, kind of interesting stat here. The Broncos are 7-1 in home games against the Packers. 7-1
Green Bay
against
had
Bay
that game
Denver.
in hand, and then the interception just changed the momentum of the.
Something to keep in mind for bettors too.
Wow, it's just absolutely incredible.
Next time you see Denver and Green Bay in Denver, you got to go with Denver. They're 7-1.
Can I just?
The only other team they have a worse record, the Green Bay Packers have a worse record. They're 0-7 at Buffalo.
I have not watched a lot of Denver this season, but I watched them, and I was so impressed by Bo Nix. What a performance! It's just they are, I think, the best team in football.
Well, that's what happened with the teams. Let's see what happened with the players.
What happened?
A lot of quarterback notes to go through this week. We've got Jaguars, going back to the Jaguars-Jets game. Trevor Lawrence, first player in NFL history with at least 5 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and 50 rushing yards in a single game.
Wow.
Just the 3rd player with at least 5 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, no interceptions in a single game over the last 30 seasons. Joins Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. Also, Lawrence, he said a lot of things here. Lawrence is also the 2nd quarterback in Jacksonville history with 5+ touchdowns and no interceptions. Joins Blake Bortles. There's a name.
Wow, there you go.
Haven't heard in a while there.
The illustrious Blake Bortles.
Yes. Going over to Denver, we just talked about them briefly. Bo Nix.
Phenomenal
First
game.
Broncos quarterback to have 20 or more touchdown passes in their first 2 seasons.
Wow.
That's some rarefied air for Denver there.
And that's, when you're talking about quarterbacks for Denver, you're always talking about Elway, and for Nix to have that kind of record, that's pretty impressive.
Over at the Chargers, Justin Herbert's 4th straight game with an interception, longest such streak since 2022. Herbert's also been sacked 11 times in the last 2 games. That's the most in any 2-game span of his career, matched with weeks 9 and 10 of this season.
Can you imagine how
He beat
good
up
the
this
Chargers would be if they just had not a great offensive, just a good offensive line? He'd be tearing up the league. It's just amazing what he has to go through and the accomplishments he has done with a terrible offensive line like that.
Well, when he's been sacked 4 more times in a game, the Chargers are 5
By the
and
way,
1.
didn't
The
he have-
Chargers are 5 and
Did
1.
he have like surgery a week and a half,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago?
He's playing with a
See?
fractured,
I mean,
surgically repaired hand.
That's
so.
what I'm talking about. I mean, geez.
But the team is 5 and 1 when he's sacked 4 more times.
Huh, okay.
That's a weird stat to throw out
Yeah.
there. Him and Sam Darnold are the only quarterbacks that have that record.
Well, look, I mean, he's overcoming a lot, which is impressive.
Here's a whole list of other quarterbacks here. We got New Orleans quarterback Tyler Show. Guy's doing extremely well. Show
Beat me this week.
Show and Jaden Daniels are the only rookie quarterbacks in the last 10 seasons to lead a game-winning drive in back-to-back games against a team with a winning record. Mm-hmm. He's also tied with Archie Manning for the most wins by a rookie Saints quarterback.
Wow.
3. We have Josh Allen. Always have Josh Allen to talk
Yeah.
about here. I'll just hit a couple of the highlights. He finished the game against New England with 3 passing touchdowns and is now tied with Matthew Stafford for the most offensive touchdowns in the NFL this year, 37. Allen has accounted for at least 35 touchdowns in 6 career seasons. Tom Brady has 7, Aaron Rodgers has 7, and Drew Brees has 6.
Wow.
They're the only ones in the NFL history with that type of record there. 2025 is Allen's 3rd season in his career with at least 25 passing touchdowns and 12 rushing touchdowns. No other player in NFL history has done that. Mm-hmm. So kind of interesting stuff there. If you want to look at some other stats here, we've got some Bo Nix stats. I got a couple more for him.
Okay.
Nix is one of 3 quarterbacks all time to have 3 wins with at least 300 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns in his first 2 seasons.
Okay.
Mahomes and Marino.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's an interesting combination
Yeah.
right there. Nix also tied Peyton Manning and John Elway for the longest winning streak in a season by Broncos quarterback all time. Got an interesting stat I want to finish up on here from the Tennessee Titans game.
Okay.
Tennessee defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. He did a strip sack and gave the Titans the ball back, and then they went in for a touchdown. However, the touchdown, which was a 1-yard pass, was caught by Tennessee defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, first defensive player with a forced fumble and a scrimmage touchdown in the game since 2014. J.J. Watt did that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Also, Jeffrey Simmons had 1 sack and caught his 2nd career touchdown, becoming the 4th player since 2000 to record 8 or more sacks and a touchdown catch in the same season. So very interesting stat there. That's kind of a unique one right there. That's it for what happened with the players. Let's see what happened with us.
Hey, what happened?
Well, I seem to be slowly losing my grasp on the lead between us here. Like I said, we do 3 games each every weekend. It's really competition between us. We invite other people to join in throughout the season by commenting everywhere on social media or email. But I had a good lead, and now it's whittled down to pretty much nothing.
Well,
You went 2 and 1. I went 1 and 2.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So it takes me a little while to get going. So I pull it out in the 4th quarter, just
Yeah,
like
there we go.
Bo
Nix.
just like Denver.
Yes.
So.
But it's kind of an interesting
And by the
weekend.
way, like I said, 3 weeks in a row, I
Yep.
took a Jets game and I took the over in the Jets game, and it paid off. So
I knew betting on Arizona was going to bite me in the butt because they had a 6-1 on the road against the spread record. So I mean, I thought that was going to be a little closer. They didn't even bother showing up. Houston seems to have turned up their defense a whole other level now.
yeah,
And they found an offense.
Yeah, and I won on the Chicago. I took Chicago. I think
Yep.
it was -7.5, and they easily won. And the one I was surprised about, New Orleans beat Carolina. I took Carolina -2.5, and Carolina heading toward the playoffs and needed all the games they needed, and then they do something like that.
I think New Orleans pretty much cost Carolina the lead in the division, too.
Well, New Orleans won it in the last couple of seconds. So
Tyler Show.
yeah, so
He really showed up.
well, it was actually a field goal, but
Well, he drove him down.
I know he had to drive him down, but it was a field goal, and what are you gonna do?
No, and it's great to see New Orleans actually. They have one of the worst records in the league, like a lot of other teams. They're actually fighting each and every week. That defense is playing good no matter what. The offense seems to be showing life under Tyler Show there, and the field goal game is still good.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I had a teaser going this weekend. And luckily, Carolina was part of my teaser, and I teased it down Carolina plus 3.5. So that kind of worked well for that teaser. So I lost for the show, but I won in real life. So
glad Carolina could accommodate you for that.
Thank you.
So congratulations
I
there.
Squeaked in under that one. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what happened during Week 15 for both the league and us. We're going to start looking ahead to Week 16 with our picks and analysis for a couple games each. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show, back after this.
In a moment of need, every second counts. So first responders, delivery drivers, and visitors can find your home fast, even in the dark. This is about more than just a number. It's about safety, visibility, and peace of mind. We created a house number that is not only a beacon of safety, but also a work of art. Crafted from durable stainless steel and waterproof acrylic, with efficient, low-voltage LED backlighting, it's uniquely yours. Choose from 6 sizes, 4 fonts, and 6 colors, and match your home's mood with bright, neutral, or warm white halo lighting. Add dusk to dawn, dimming and timing controls for complete command.
Every order includes free worldwide shipping, plus a 2-year warranty on lighted numbers and all powering accessories.
This is the ultimate home upgrade. A perfect blend of style, quality, and function.
Buy yours today.
Smoked cocktails have never been easier to make thanks to our Halo Drink Smoker. Simply place the cocktail smoker on your glass, light the wood chips until they start to smoke, and then top it off with the lid to infuse your drink with a delicious, new, smoky flavor.
Hey, Dave Weischadle from Turnpike Sports. I just got my dugout mug delivered and I am loving it. Dugout mugs are mugs made out of baseball bats, and they are officially licensed by Major League Baseball so you can get your favorite baseball team's logo on your mug. Just think of it, enjoying your favorite drink while watching your favorite baseball team with your team's logo on your mug made from a baseball bat. They can even make customized mugs. Check out the mug they made for Turnpike Sports. I mean, just look at that. That looks awesome. I've never seen anything like them. If you go to dugoutmugs.com, you'll find out they even make more things than mugs. They have baseball board games, grilling equipment made from baseball bats. They even have a section for gifts for under $30. Head on over to dugoutmugs.com because if you're a baseball fan or need a gift for a baseball fan, you have to check out Dugout Mugs. And use our promo code PIKE at checkout to get 20% off your purchase price. That's promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. Also, free shipping with orders over $99. You can't beat that. Dugoutmugs.com. That's my go-to place if I need a gift for a baseball fan. Well, if you excuse me now, the game is about to go on, and the wind is just right for drinking.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're looking forward now. We just did our look back at Week 15. We're looking forward at Week 16. Here is our pick segment. As always, it's 3 games each. We do a competition between each of us. We do point spreads and totals. We do not do money lines. We use Caesar Sportsbook midweek line, so please check the lines before you place a bet this weekend after hearing our picks. the lines do change.
Yes, absolutely.
And always bet with your head, not with your heart. And like I said, we use Caesars Sportsbook midweek lines, and Caesars has a great offer for new customers. Football is back, and Caesars is game day ready with a great offer for new customers. Place your first bet of $1 or more and instantly get 100% profit boosts up to $25 max bet per boost. Register now at Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino with promo code PIKE20X to get this great new offer. Terms and conditions apply. 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's head on over to the games this week. First game of the week for me, the Green Bay Packers favored by 1 point at the Chicago Bears. There's an over-under of 46.5. These are the numbers at the time of taping. Green Bay and Chicago are facing off for the second time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I remember it was a great game last time.
It's also their 211th meeting, too.
Wow, okay.
So this is a big-time matchup
well,
for
they're
the
NFL. Two
Yeah.
classic franchises.
Yes.
So.
Bears are 3-2-1 against the spread at home this season, 5-1 at home straight up. They're also 8-5-1 against the spread overall. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson seem to be a good duo together here. They have developed into a really good 1-2 punch for Chicago. The rest of the team has followed along. They're playing extremely well. They've developed into something really, really special this year. Green Bay, on the other hand, appears to have lost Micah Parsons for the season, if not just for this game, depending on how the
season, yeah. Definitely for the game.
Yeah, definitely for the game, not just for this game. I said so.
Certainly, probably for the season too.
Well, at the time we're taping, still no information regarding the MRI there. But Packers defense is a very different unit when Micah Parsons hasn't been in there. They went from something special with him in there to a good defense only. The winner of this game takes over the NFC North, and injuries do seem to be mounting on the Green Bay side of the field. A couple of their offensive players are going to be out for this game as well, so I am going Chicago +1.
Well, my first game is the Philadelphia Eagles, who are favored by 6.5 points at the Washington Commanders with an over-under 44.5. I mean, the Eagles seemed to put it all together last week against Las Vegas, and I think they're going up against a team that has a defense almost as bad as the Raiders. The Commanders' defense is second in most yards allowed per play. I mean, even though Washington beat the Giants in their last game, New York's offense outgained Washington and had 22 first downs against the Commanders' defense. I mean, I think Philadelphia will win this and win it by at least a touchdown. So I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, let's head on over to the second game of the week. Second game of the week for me is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is favored by 2 points at the time of taping. There's an over-under 49.5. Los Angeles comes into the game after ending Kansas City Chiefs' dominance and also their playoff hopes and basically the season for Mahomes there. Mm-hmm. Everything happened with the Chargers in town. Chargers have covered in 8 straight as road underdogs against NFC teams, and they bring a defense into this game that's ranked in the top 10 in several different categories. Los Angeles has also won 6 of 7 to improve to 10-4. Yeah, their offensive line does give up a lot of pressure, does give up a lot of sacks, which sounds great when you're the Cowboys defensive line, but interesting stat, Justin Herbert is 5-1 when sacked 4 or more times in a game.
Wow.
Chargers have allowed the 9th fewest points per game, which should factor into limiting a Dallas offense that I still think is one of the best in the league. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers +2.
My next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 3-point favorites at the Carolina Panthers with an over-under of 45.5. Both these teams have been playing terrible defense lately. The Buccaneers, they almost gave up 500 yards against the Falcons, who went on to put up 29 points against them. Panthers aren't doing much better on defense. They lost to New Orleans, who put up 337 yards and had 27 first downs against the Carolina defense. And by the way, the Saints also averaged 6.7 yards per play last week against Carolina. I think these teams are struggling on defense, which I think will mean a lot of points being scored by both these offenses. So I'm taking the over 45.5 in the Buccaneers-Panthers game.
All right, let's head on over to the last game of the week. Final game for me, the New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 4.5 points. There's an over-under of 40.5 here. I have not bet on the Jets this season at all. I usually try and avoid it. However, I went with an unusual choice last week with the Los Angeles Chargers. I have never bet on the Chargers before. So I'm going to take a shot here with the Jets here. The New Orleans Saints are coming into the game. They got a 2-game winning streak going on here, while the Jets are, well, they're the Jets this season. They have 2 straight blowout losses to the Dolphins and Jaguars, 2 much better teams than the New Orleans Saints, or so it appears. Lately, the New Orleans Saints seem to have a lot of fight in them. The last blowout cost the defensive coordinator for the Jets his job, and rightly so. That was a very, very poor showing. Here's an interesting nugget, though. Even though the Jets are 1-5 on the road straight up, they are 4-3 against the spread on the road, while the Saints are 2-5 against the spread at home this season. So numbers sort of kind of even things out here a little bit. I'm very curious to see if the change in defensive coordinator sparks something in the defensive side of the ball there. The offense has been okay lately. The special teams are the best in the league. It's the defense that's been the problem. If the defense had played halfway decent in any of those other previous games, it might have been a different outcome. Aaron Glenn seems to have a lot of faith in the replacement that he just anointed as the defensive coordinator for this game, so we'll see what happens there. New Orleans has allowed 130 rushing yards per game this season, including 4 100-yard rushers. I think we're going to see a very heavy Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis, heavy game plan rushing attack by the New York Jets. And I'm actually going to go with the Jets plus 4.5.
All right, my last game is the Minnesota Vikings, who are 3-point favorites against the New York Giants with an over-under of 44. The Giants are playing at home this weekend. Why does that matter to me? Well, each of the last 6 Sunday games at MetLife Stadium have gone over the points line, the total points line. Not only that, 8 of the Giants' last 9 games have gone over the total. Each of the Vikings' last 5 Week 16 games have gone over the total. This is the first week in like a month. I'm not taking a Jets game, but I am taking what's happening in their stadium, and I'm taking the over again, what's happening with the New York team. So I'm taking the over 44 points in the Vikings-Giants game.
All right, those are our 3 games each for Week 16. Again, we use Caesar's midweek line, so please check the lines before you place a bet. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. We'll be right back to recap and close out the show.
Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We have just done our Week 16 picks for the games for us this week. 3 games each, points, spreads, and totals. No money lines. Caesar's midweek lines only. Please check the lines before you place a bet. Why don't we go ahead and recap for our audience?
I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles and laying the 6.5 points, who they're playing the Washington Commanders. I am taking the over 45.5 points in the Buccaneers-Panthers game. I'm taking the over 44 points in the Vikings-Giants game.
I'm doing another week in the kennel here because I got all underdogs again.
Oh, there you go.
Chicago +1 against the Packers, Chargers +2 against the Cowboys, and my New York Jets, hopefully +4.5. Just keep it close, Jets. That's all I ask. Against the New Orleans Saints. I got to make some moves here. I have only 1 win in the last 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I've been on a really poor slide here, and that's got to change.
I think I'm in the last 2 weeks 5-1.
Yep.
So
I'm pretty much the opposite.
I'm on a tear.
Plus
I'm on
2
a
pushes.
heater. Here we go.
And I got 2 pushes.
And by the way,
too.
thanks to the New York Jets games, because the New York Jets games I've taken overs the last 3 weeks, and I've won those. But I haven't taken a New York Jets game this week, but I took a New York Giants game. And if you're picking a stadium that likes overs, it's MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like I said, those are our picks for Week 16, Caesars midweek lines. They'll be up on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog. You'll see them there. Feel free to comment there. Feel free to email us, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Social media, Turnpike Sports, Turnpike Bets on X, Turnpike Sports Radio on Instagram, Turnpike Sports on Facebook, and you can find Turnpike Sports on Blue Sky as well. So feel free to comment all there. And we'll see you next week with even more picks.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike. Good luck, everyone.